What's up everyone, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be making some Damascus, so stick around and see how it's done. Alrighty, so I got this all welded up, and I took it to the grinder and ground down those welds a little bit, so I don't have as much in my billet. I did it on both sides. And I'll get the forge fired up, and we'll get us in there. Alright, so I got 14 inches of steel here. I've marked it out in the 4 pieces, so they're each going to be 3.5 inches. I'll go ahead and cut those out. So this is a 12-layer billet, and then 4 pieces will get, when I restack this, it'll give me 48 layers. Alrighty, so now that I got these all cut out, I've come over here to the grinder. I'm going to start cleaning off all this scale on them. Get them all cleaned up and ready for the restack. Alrighty, so I got my pieces all cleaned up. Now I'm about to weld them back together and put a handle on them. Alrighty, so after welding these back together, I went over to the grinder and I ground down these welds a little bit so I don't have as much of that in my billet. Now I'll fire up the forge and get this nice and hot. Alright, so all I'm doing here is making these lumps right here, getting those out of there so it's nice and flat and even. Alright, so now that the bar is nice and straight and even, I'll let this cool down and then we'll cut it up and restack it. Alright, so I got my billet here, about 48 layers right now. I'm going to cut this into 4 different pieces and then clean those up, get them all back into a new billet. That'll give us, what, 192 layers, I believe? So 192, and then once we get that welded together, we'll forge out a knife. So I'll see you once I get this stacked back up and ready to go back into the forge. Alrighty, so here's our billet. I got 192 layers in this one. So now I'll go back into the forge and get this all welded up. Alright, so thanks for watching, everyone. In this episode, we got 192 layers in this billet. So in the next one, we'll go ahead and forge this into a knife. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you there.